On today's menu, a simple but oh so easy to make and very delicious recipe that you're gonna love. Coffee rubbed grilled hanger steak. Yo, what's up? It's your boy Marwin, your favorite flavor guy. Today I'm bringing another recipe with bold, creative flavor. This time my secret ingredient I'm using to maximize flavor is a coffee bean that I grind up to use as part of a spice rub to season a hanger steak. So this is a hanger steak recipe featuring a coffee-based rub. The rub is complex, it's flavorful, it's bold, it's unique. It just adds a lot of pop to the steak that I'm going to grill. Hanger steak is one of my favorite steaks, very popular in like South America. You can get it here in the States. It's a cheap cut relative to like ribeyes and other steak cuts. But the rub actually works across the meat spectrum. So whether you're using it for lamb, chicken, pork, beef, and even some seafoods, it's your go-to rub. It's outstanding. I think you're gonna dig it. As always, don't forget to hit that red subscribe button as you follow the video. Thanks. Let's get to cooking. We start with the rub, and I'll tell you up front, there are a lot of different ingredients in the rub, but most of the ingredients you'll likely have on hand, if not all of them. The coffee rub is really founded on the coffee bean. I use Ethiopian for its complexity and flavor, but you want to grind it pretty coarsely for texture reasons. Same with most of the spices you want to use in this recipe. But the key ingredients are the coffee rub, brown sugar for the balance, and I like to use kosher salt again for those coarse granules that add texture. But you want to like give it a really good mix. And then when you season the meat, you want to be very generous. I'm gonna put on a healthy coat of the rub, then I'm going to mix it in. You almost want to create like a rub paste that really envelops the meat, because when it cooks, it's gonna make a nice crust, so you have the flavor and that texture, which will be very important when you're grilling a steak. So you go into high heat. I'm gonna go about 10 minutes per side, depending on how thick the steak is. Hanger steaks can run on the thicker side, depending on like how your butcher cuts them. So you want to kind of give it ample time, but I want to get a nice sear on both sides to seal in that flavor, but also build that crust. I'm giving it like the doneness check with my fingers. If there's a lot of give, that means it's pretty tender. If there's no give, that means you cooked it almost well done. I like mine on the medium rare side, so I take mine off a bit early. But you can see a nice crust is formed on the outside of that steak, and when I cut it open, you'll see how juicy and tender we're talking about here. So let it rest a few minutes before cutting. Maybe give it another coating of some of that spice rub. The spice rub is delicious, and so it just adds more flavor to the steak. I'm gonna give it a taste test, but you can see it's pretty pink in the center. That's what I want, that really kind of medium rare vibe going for this particular steak. And that's it. You notice you don't see any of those juices bleeding out of the steak. That's because I allowed it to rest and allowed the juices to redistribute in the meat, and so it stays tender throughout. There's a lot of flavor here. I like to serve my steak as is, maybe with some steak frites style with fries. That earthy coffee flavor stands out, but you also get the heat from the chili powder and the sweet from the brown sugar. Really complex, good stuff. Yeah, so I love this dish. It came together pretty easily. You can get creative a little bit with the spice rub. If you don't like ginger, you can swap that out. If you don't like chocolate, you can swipe that out. Various different things there. But I think in terms of what it does for the meat, it really enhances the flavor. I make this for myself all the time, but more importantly, when I have guests, I wow them with this dish. They're always surprised and curious about all the different layers of flavor that they get from the steak. Because of the nature of the rub, it adds a nice crust, so it adds to the texture in addition to the flavor. And so you just really get like this awesome eating experience when you have a steak or a piece of meat that's been rubbed with this and grilled this way. That grilling really kind of works to kind of enhance the crust as well. So that's it. If you like the dish, leave a comment, but definitely don't forget to hit that red subscribe button and get new recipe updates weekly when I post new content. Until then, peace out. Thanks for vibing with me. See you next week.